It's puck time. I'm the Prez. Alex B. Smith with us, wearing a hockey jersey, and Andrew McInnis. Very stylish hair today, Andrew. Looking good. What's going on, boys?
Nothing, just a busy Friday. Prez, you'll be happy with me. It's so busy of a Friday. I'm not even drinking pop today. I'm actually drinking vitamin water. So.
Because water isn't healthy enough.
Well, I just needed the extra boost. I've been up since 7 a.m. and I got a bunch of shows to do. So, just looking forward to what's a fun Friday.
Well, enjoy it. I'm done in about, as soon as I hang up on you guys, and then I've got to go out to do a couple of errands. Not feeling the best, a little bit sick. Just, the travel was so long, and I'm just worn out. I'm run down. But anyway, it is what it is. Boys, we're going to take apart every play. We're going to do it quick. But before we get into that, I just want to say I have a 5-unit play up at WagerTalk.com. It's the highest rated play that I release at WagerTalk. I've won my last 2. It literally is probably my favorite bet so far in the entire hockey season. It's $30 at WagerTalk. You guys can have it for $10. Use the promo code Prez, NHL10, Prez, Andrew. That's a Z for like normal human beings. Prez.
You're Canadian, aren't you? What do you say, Z or Z?
I say Z like every other person on the planet except for Americans.
Z?
Yeah, Zed's Canadian. I thought Zed was Canadian. Yeah.
It's not. Z is not Canadian. Z is English.
Okay.
Like the people who invented the language.
Well, Americans think they're their own people, right? So they have their own everything.
Yeah, well, they got rid of
But we do, though. I mean...
Yeah, the stupidest of all is that they're still on Imperial. I mean, it's utterly mind-boggling that the entire world is metric. Metric literally works with zeros, like 10 centimeters, 100 1,000, 1,000 meters in a kilometer. These guys and their freaking imperial system. Like, Alex, do you even know how many inches in a foot? How many feet in a mile?
No, I failed all of that when I was in
school.
No.
Exactly. But anyway, let's move on, boys. Prez NHL 10, my 5-unit play for $10. Guys, lots going on tonight. Alex, we're going to start with you. The Chicago Blackhawks, 18-24 on the season, going into Buffalo. Buffalo in a hunt for the playoffs. I mean, 25-19. They're sitting pretty now, but there's a lot of teams nipping at them. Chicago's won their last 2 games, beating the Islanders and the Capitals. And Buffalo just lost to Dallas 1-0, and they're back from a 5-game road trip. Look, Buffalo is minus anywhere up to 180. The over and under is 6. We've spoken about this a bunch of times. Taking a team after a long road trip in their first game home is not usually a winning proposition. There is no chance I'm laying such chalk. If I'm going to do anything in this game, I'm going to go with over the total of 6. Alex?
Well, you got to look at that, that road trip with a grain of salt, because you got to understand that the All-Star break was involved in that. So some guys did get to go home. It wasn't that they're just completely out on the road the entire time. But even with that being said, just the fact that they had to have the rest, then go back on the road for 2 games, it still could be a bit of an adjustment for them. And this is a Hawks team that has played well in Western New York. They've won 12 of the last 13 meetings against Buffalo. Patrick Kane going back to his hometown, so he's always got friends and family in the crowd there. I would be looking, of course, as always, the first period total. That's pretty much an automatic bet from here on out now with the Hawks, unless something drastic changes. And one of the big things here is that Gustav Forsling will be on the defensive pairing tonight because Henry Jokiharju was sent down to Rockford. Jokiharju was playing really good, but they want him to get some top 2, top 4 type minutes. Forsling, I don't think he's really a quality NHL defenseman. I think that's going to weaken an already weak blue line and might give Cam Ward some trouble. So, like, for that first period over. But if I were to play a side here, I would lean slightly with the Hawks. I think they could make this a dogfight and win at a plus price.
Andrew, 30 seconds or less. What do you like on this play?
To be honest with you, I would go with the underdog. I think that you look at so many spots here, especially early on, like I keep on talking about after the All-Star break, where teams can come out flat. And you see, I think the Chicago team, if anything, they're a team that needed the rest. They're a team that will play better rested. I think they come out in this one. Buffalo's played 2 games now, I think, this week. And I think they come out and have a great performance. So you're getting a great – I don't think Buffalo should be favored by that much, Prez, what I'm saying. I like the underdog price. I mean, plus 150, 55. That's a great dog price with this Blackhawks team, which, in my eyes, obviously they have underperformed. Still a good, talented team.
Andrew, let's go to you first in this game. Tampa Bay. We go to the Nashville game. Nashville on the road in Florida. 70% of the money's coming in on Nashville here. And look, it's close to a pick 'em. The away team, Nashville, is minus 120. They have won their last 2 games, beating the Knights and Colorado, both on the road. And they're playing a Florida team that is finally putting together some wins. They beat Toronto, Nashville, and San Jose, winning 3 games in a row. The over and under is 6 in this game. It's way too big a number for me for a Nashville game. I like under the total in this game. Andrew?
I'm going to go ahead and take the Predators in regulation, Prez. I think that now that you finally have a team rolling like the Predators, they're fully healthy. I talk about this, and I think center depth is so important with, Johansson, Sissons, Bonino, the guys that they have up front. Forsberg is such an amazing piece of that team, especially just on the wing to Johansson. I think that he really controls the pace, and he can control the puck so much in the offensive zone. He really sets up his team. But let's not forget how great this team's been since my man PK Subban's been back in the lineup. He's really looked great for them defensively and offensively. That's really what he brings both sides of the ice. I think we're getting too good of a number with this one. Alex and I talked about this one off air and thought it might be a little bit of a trap game, but I just don't think Florida comes ready. I don't think Florida matches them line for line. I think Preds handle this one easily.
Andrew, 30 seconds or less. Just give out a play.
I'm agreeing with Andrew with Nashville plus 125 in regulation.
Okay, Alex, Tampa Bay playing the Islanders. A couple of days ago, Tampa Bay played Pittsburgh, and I really like Pittsburgh in that spot, and they lost. They're zigzagging their last 6 games. They're the away team tonight and still minus 145. New York Islanders, they're getting money, and they've won 5 of their last 6 games. Their only loss was a shootout to Chicago. There's no respect coming in for the Islanders in this game, and I think it's largely because Tampa Bay doesn't lose 2 in a row. The over and under here is 6.5. I'm going to take the Islanders at plus money.
Yeah, it's interesting because, obviously it's going to be the marquee matchup of the night. You got 2 teams that more than likely will be playoff contenders and looking really sharp right now. But this Tampa Bay team, like I said, they don't lose 2 in a row. They've dominated the Eastern Conference, 24-5 against Eastern Conference opponents, and that's why they're favored here. Even though you have an Islanders team, as you mentioned, 5-1 the last 6 overall, and 4-1 the last 5 games at home as well. So it's going to be a bit of a battle. I would slightly lean here with the Islanders, like I said, getting the plus price here, but this is going to be a really tight game. I wouldn't be shocked to see this go OT, so I might look at playing the 3-way on the draw. You can get it right now. I'm seeing it plus 295 or at 3-1.
Andrew, quick.
Yeah, I would agree with Alex. I think it's going to be a tight one, but I got to say, I got to go with the underdog spot here. Either that or the over. I think that this one's 2 teams here. You look at the way that they played against Pittsburgh. Atrocious start. The way they ended was great, though. I think they carried that momentum over into this one. I'll go with the over, and I got to lean with the underdog as well.
Okay, Andrew, Ottawa in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh just came off of a great win in Tampa Bay. We spoke about it. Pittsburgh there's a minus 300 on the board, but the average is about minus 260. The over and under is 6.5. There's no chance I'm laying 260 here because, you mentioned trap game with Nashville. This could be one for Pittsburgh after really putting the smackdown down on Tampa Bay. I just worry about the emotional, how the emotions that Pittsburgh had to have and how well they played against Tampa Bay, being carried forward. If anything, I would probably look at Ottawa plus 1.5 and still getting a little bit of money. I can't touch the total here. I don't love this game at all. What do you think?
Again, I think you see two teams like this that clash together. I think Pittsburgh carries the load in this one, but this one goes over the total. I don't trust the defense for the Senators, guys, and the way the Pens looked against Tampa, they're a fast and dangerous team. Go with the over the total.
Alex, thoughts on that game, quick?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be looking at the Senators with plus money here. We've seen the Senators actually win the last two meetings this season and keep it really close with a 2-1 value, and they were a big dog there. Like I said, it could be a letdown spot for Pittsburgh after coming off of a big win, beating the best team in hockey. So I think we're getting a ton of value here with the Senators tonight.
Alex, Washington Capitals. My God, back from the break, they're on a 7-game losing streak, and most of those games haven't even been close. They got blown out by the Leafs, blown out by the Blackhawks, blown out by Nashville. They're hosting Calgary tonight. Calgary could be the best team in all of hockey right now. They've won their last 3 games. They've won 8 of their last 9. Their only loss was in overtime, so they've literally put a point down in 9 straight games. They're winning away from home, too. In their last 9 games, they beat Philly, Chicago, and Edmonton. We got Washington as a pick'em. Calgary around minus 120, and the over and under is 6. I like over the total here in this game. I think it's going to be a shootout. Where are you going?
Only thing I can look at here would be the Flames, like you mentioned, a team that has earned points in 9 straight, won 8 of the last 9. And you got to make a note here: no Alex Ovechkin for Washington tonight because he elected to miss the All-Star game. He had to serve a 1-game suspension. He chose to serve it tonight. So I think we're going to see one more loss here from Washington, and then when Ovechkin gets back, we might see things turn around.
Andrew, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm going to get tired of talking about this, but the extended rest and that kind of stuff really does affect things. I saw Ovechkin and a bunch of other Capitals kind of having maybe a little bit too much fun over the All-Star break, and this Calgary team's been dialed in, whereas the Capitals haven't, like you mentioned, Prez. So with Gaudreau and Monahan and Lindholm playing the way they're playing, I think this is an easy victory here in a key matchup, which shouldn't be easy, but I think the Flames take care of business.
He's Andrew McInnis. I'm the Prez. The other guy is Alex B. Smith. You can find them at sportsmemo.com. Up every day. We love having you boys there. People head over to Sports Memo and check them out. Andrew, let's go to the Leafs, baby. Muzzin was a huge pickup. And I think with Morgan Riley now, we've got a real strong first line of defense. I'm excited. I think the only team that's ultimately going to give them trouble is Tampa Bay once we hit the playoffs, so it should be fun. The Leafs, they were on a bit of a losing streak. They had lost 4 of their last 5 going into the All-Star break, but then they did win Washington. They did win against Washington. Conversely, Detroit's garbage. I mean, just bottom line garbage. Sure, they beat Edmonton on the road. Who cares? This team sucks. Leafs are minus 200. Over and under is 6.5 in this game. I'm not going to touch the total, but I think the Leafs are going in there and blowing them out. I like the Leafs minus 1.5. What do you like?
Prez, you can get some good odds with that, surprisingly as well. I mean, plus 150, 145 for the Leafs puck line. And as far as total goes, I'm going to look under here. Like you said, Muzzin making his debut. I think the biggest kind of key and goal for this Leafs squad has to be to step things up defensively in the second half. We know they can score. We know they have weapons. The total's gone under in 4 of the last 5 games on the road, and I think that continues tonight. Detroit's awful. They're terrible, and Toronto has to shut down terrible teams. They will tonight.
That's a great point. Alex, any thoughts?
I do think that Toronto will shut down this team. Like I said, it's a horrible Detroit team, but I'm looking at the first period over. I think Toronto's going to get off to a fast start. We've also seen the Leafs go 7-4 to the last 11 first periods on the road. Detroit at home 8-4 to the first period over in their last 12. So I think we see Toronto get a couple goals early. Maybe Detroit gets one, but I definitely think we see this go over 1.5 goals. You're laying around minus $1.45, $1.50, and then Toronto should take care of business from there.
I love it. Alex, Vegas Golden Knights going in to Carolina. About 63% of the money coming in on the Knights. They are around minus 110, 115. The over and under is anywhere between 5.5 and 6 in this game. Vegas has lost their last 2 games, both at home, Nashville and Minnesota. Carolina, they won their last game 5-2. They're back from a road trip. They've won 2 of their last 3 games. Carolina seems to be a team that it's just a tough team to bet on or against. They're only 5 games out of the playoff position. They're a good young team, but they do struggle to score. I think the Knights will keep this game low scoring. Same with Carolina, and I lean on under the total, even if it is 5.5 here. I can see this easily being a 2-1 game. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a side play available on this game over at sportsmemo.com, but I'm looking at this total as well, too. Vegas has gone under the total for their last 6 games on the road, and you got a Carolina team that they really need to buckle down defensively if they want to become a playoff team. If they're going to compete with the best in the East and compete with a team that we know is capable of being one of the better teams in the league in Vegas, they've got to slow things down. Vegas is obviously going to be the faster team, but Carolina can skate as well, too. But I think we're going to see it's going to be more of a physical and skating kind of a game. We're not going to see a lot of offensive chances by the side because these teams just kind of are going to just get in each other's way almost. Sometimes teams can be too fast for themselves, and I think that's what we're going to see in this matchup here. So it's going to be a really good game. Both these teams have won 9 of the last 13 games overall. But like I said, I think the under is something that's worth looking at tonight.
Andrew, let's just jump straight to the Minnesota game on the road against Dallas. Look, Dallas, the home team, is around minus 140. Minnesota's won their last 3 games, though, Andrew, and 2 of them have been on the road against Colorado and the Knights. Dallas, yeah, sure, they've won their last 2 games. Buffalo in an outstanding performance against Winnipeg. But this Dallas team is not really very good. They're a one-line team that can be shut down. I'm going to get some money on Minnesota, and I'm going to take it.
I like Minnesota too, and the reason why is because I think, like you mentioned, Dallas is their 1-2 trick pony type team. And what I mean by that is that they don't have guys that you don't expect to scoring at all. They have the same couple guys every single night that have to be in the spotlight, have to be producing. If their power play is not going and their goaltending is not absolutely stellar, this team's not getting on the board. And I'm not shocked whatsoever to see a 5.5 with this total. I would look under in this one for a lean to the total, but I got to go with Minnesota. To me, they've underachieved in their past couple weeks before the All-Star break. They come out strong in this one and take care of business against Dallas.
You made a really good point about the power play. And the bottom line with teams like Colorado and Dallas is if they don't get many power plays, and if they don't click on those power plays, they're just not scoring goals. Alex, any quick thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm not touching this game as far as the side goes because whenever you're looking at a Minnesota team, like I said, they've won 3 games in a row going into the break. Look like they should be getting some momentum. That's usually the time when they fall flat on their face, especially against a team like Dallas. These 2 teams kind of play each other pretty tight. That being said, I'm looking at this first period under the total. We've seen Dallas 15-35 to the first period under. This team starts off very slow. Like I said, they're basically one-trick ponies. They don't get things rolling right away, then they really don't get things rolling at all. And I can see this being a slow starting game, and maybe Minnesota, if they win this game, they're going to take care of things in the later 40 minutes of action.
Alex, Andrew, and the Prez. Puck Time every Monday to Friday at WagerTalk TV, at sportsmemo.com, and at wagertalk.com. Don't forget, I have a 5-unit play up at wagertalk.com. The promo code is Prez NHL 10. It's yours for $10. Boys, see you Monday.
See you Monday. Go Rams.
Go Rams. I'm with you there. We were going to talk about it, but I'm Super Bowl talked out.
I agree.
Later, Andrew. Later, Alex. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching, everyone.